Hello and welcome to our monthly education hour hosted by Survey Analytics. This is the August 2013 education hour, and my name is Esther LaVielle, and on the line with me I have Gina Lee. And today we're going to be going over some of the new cutting edge tools and enhancements that we have made on Survey Analytics. As you've noticed in the past couple months, we have been improving the look and feel of our website in terms of survey creations and reportings, as well as the survey taking experience. And we are continuing to move in that direction, listening to a lot of what our clients are saying, and also putting in what we feel is going to keep us competitive in the survey software environment, especially in the enterprise software environment. So today, what we're going to be focusing in on here is be looking at some, survey tools and enhancements with particular question types, how we create surveys. We'll also be discussing some panel management enhancements. We'll also, if we have some time left today, we'll go over and do a live demo and open up the floor to questions and answers from the audience. And with me today, I have my dog Cooper. You can see he's sitting there, and he actually does sit next to me while I work. So say hi to him if you can. All right. So the very first thing we're going to be talking about here is the navigation hotkeys. Basically, we've added a lot of different shortcuts to make items faster in your Survey Analytics account. So make sure to enjoy and use these shortcuts if you want to get to certain things quicker besides just clicking on buttons. So what are navigation hotkeys? Basically, the navigation hotkeys are a lowercase letter or a couple of letters that you type in to quickly navigate to the areas in your account that you use the most. Navigation hotkeys will display when you hover over the items on top of the navigation bar, and also to navigate edit survey side panels, you can also use that in the hotkeys. So basically, if you hover over, reports, you'll see R, and you just type in R instead of clicking your button. And this will make things a lot quicker for you to kind of span, between Edit Survey tab and the Reporting tab if you need. So the top navigation hotkeys that are being used right now is Surveys, which is S, Edit Survey, Send Survey, Reports. They're pretty much no-brainers, so you can put in S for Survey, EA for Edit, D for Send, R for Reports, M for Mobile, Integration, Analytics, and Panel. And this currently works right now, so go ahead and give those a shot. So that should help you with just navigating the site a lot quicker, more efficiently as well. And some edit survey navigation hotkeys, if you're underneath the edit tab, then you can just type in EA and hold those down, and then you'll get to the edit page. If you need to do a survey overview, you do EO, and anything with edit has the letter E in the front. So give that a try, and we'll also demo this out here as well. So make sure to use these if you want to help with just getting to shortcuts in your survey accounts and just kind of navigate it a lot quicker. Those that are using it really enjoy the opportunity to kind of toggle between, reports R or surveys S, and then doing the edits, which is EA. That's probably the ones that get used the most. Our second enhancements that we've really have made some major changes to in comparison to our old version is the AddEdit question enhancements. And to add a survey or add questions to a survey, we've basically made it a lot easier and faster to add and also edit those questions. As you can see with the screenshot to the left here, we also recategorized the standards and advanced question types and made it easier to access your question library, which is anything that you have copied from previous surveys, some templates that you can access really quickly. So on the top there, you can see your standard question types, advanced question types, and then below would be all of your libraries as well. From inside here, you'll be able to just scroll over and quickly see a template instead of having to click through and decide if that's the right template you'd like to use. So this style of edits and updates on this should make it easier to increase your survey programming efficiency and also the user experience in getting the questions out. So to add a question, the way that you would do that now is you would go to, you first click on the plus sign on the left to add a question, and then you want to scroll, oops, and then you want to scroll to preview the templates and select the one that you would like. And so this one here, I just selected the multiple choice select one. So it looks pretty much like the same as before. So now all you'll need to do is step 3, which is to add the question and answer options to the template and go ahead and save that. And then if you'd like, after you're done, you can also edit on the fly, which is really nice. Instead of having to go directly back into the template, you can just click on the question you just saved and then click on and make some edits and then save it directly. So that shouldn't take, that should make things a lot more simpler when you need to go back and update the add questions or even edit the survey questions as needed. So the next item we have here is survey infographics. We talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to kind of hit this home again and just kind of let you know that this is really popular right now. You may have noticed in mainstream media that you're seeing more and more infographics being used as a way to report data besides just regular charts. So it's really interesting, and I think that a lot as time goes along, we're going to see more information being shared via infographics. So this, again, go ahead and use this as part of your way of sharing your information to your clients, your board members, and your colleagues. So basically with an infographic, it's very interactive, it's easy to understand, it's presentation ready and easy to share the infographics of survey results, and it does update in real time, which is really nice. It also will allow you to increase brand awareness with compelling and attractive facts, figures, and stats. So we give you an opportunity to put together a very data-rich visualization of the story of the survey, and then you can use it as a tool to educate and inform. And also with the infographics, you can add your logo and add a little piece on top of it as well. So that should really make it very rich for you and your clients to enjoy reviewing and accessing at any time. So basically with the infographics from survey results, you'll see real-time survey data. It can be generated and shared in seconds. Again, you can customize and add your own branding to your survey infographic. So on the left there, you can give it a chart title, you can give it a chart subtitle, you can add your company brand or logo, and then you can also select the particular questions that you would like to add, and then you can also specify the dates that you would like to run your infographic report from, and you can also change the response grouping from daily to weekly, monthly, and then generate that and then share as well. So to basically set this up, all you'll need to do is go into the Reports tab, and then click on the infographics, and then select infographic under the online tools in the left navigation panel, and then from there you'll be able to edit and make changes and then generate a report based off of the survey you just did. Inside the infographic, you have 4 different ways that you can share it. So the very first way is that you can use a link on the very top there and go ahead and copy and paste that. That's a static link in which people can select at any time and download it and review if you like. The second thing you can also do is you can download the infographic as a PDF. And this is especially helpful for those who want to share just a quick snapshot. They don't want to just share a link, they want to put it as part of their report. So that's a very powerful, easy way to share it. You can also go in and share on your social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. And the fourth way you can do this is you can use a QR code for mobile scanning. So that means that if people want to see the data and how things are being done, you can just have it posted via a QR code, and then from the QR code they'll be able to view the infographic report on their mobile phone. And this is especially interesting for those who want to interact with people. Maybe they just took a survey on their phone and then they want to know how they did in comparison to the overall, or how their stats, influence the overall. Using the mobile's QR code to infographic report would be very powerful in that sense. Our next item that we've made some significant changes is in our translations tools. And before, in the past, the way that we would require people to put in translations is to go into each question template and copy and paste the translations and answers. But instead of having to do that individually one by one, we created a tool that will allow you to import the questions and answers automatically from an Excel spreadsheet. So basically, setting up a multilingual survey would be faster by using this import language tool that we now have. So to go ahead and get that started here, the first thing you'll need to do is go into the Edit Survey tab and click on the settings, and then select the language that you'd like to pick and that you plan to import. So if you want to go in and pick, from English and add Spanish, go ahead and add Spanish on first. And then after you do that, then, or Croatian, that's what I had here. So once you added the language and click on Add Language Version, the second thing you'll do is to the right there, click on Download Export Template. And what this will do is, if you have the survey already in English, what it will do is it will give you an Excel spreadsheet in which you can now add the Croatian language or any other language as you like. So this is it's kind of cut off to the left there, but basically, if you can see here on the left side in yellow, this will mark what kind of question types those are, gives you a description on the next column, and then you have your English default language of what those questions are, and then after that the language, the Croatian language, you can now add in what the translations are from those. So you automatically will copy and paste your question and then the language text as well. And then from there, if you need to do multiple languages, you'll just have another column for like Spanish, German, and so on and so forth. And once you have this filled out, then all you need to do is go back and import the file. So you can see this is the third step. So after you filled out the Excel spreadsheet, import that back into the system. And then once you have done that and it has taken and it looks like it's successfully uploaded or imported, then you'll just need to go ahead and do a quick audit by going in to the language settings and clicking on the new language and seeing what took. So you can see from on the screenshot here, from my imported Excel spreadsheet, I had typed in, testing this, and I know that's not Croatian, but that's what I had typed in, and then they have added those to those question texts. So you can go back and just audit it and do this all underneath the settings page instead of having to do it underneath the add edit question type. So for this style, this really helps with importing. It also allows you the opportunity to work with like a language translation service. So if you needed to go back and give them the English translations, or you need a translation to be done, you can download that import Excel spreadsheet, give that to them, and then they can add the question and answers into the Excel spreadsheet literally, and then they'll give it back to you and just upload it or import it into the system, and it will take. So we really make it a lot easier for you to do it just all at one time, and it works really great. So we hope that you guys can enjoy that. The next enhancements that we've included is the rank order enhancement. We basically enhance the survey creation and user experience for the rank order question. And back in the days when we had this question type, we kind of had to force people to type in 1, 2, 3, 4. But instead of doing that, we kind of moved away from that. The rank order template itself has not changed, so you can still put in your question text and your answers one per line. But the only thing that we have changed from the user experience is to go ahead and do a drop down of the answer options. So if you only put 3 answers, you only have 3 rankings to do. If you have more than that, then you have all 5 rankings or more. So from here you can see it's 1, 2, 3. Makes things a lot easier than having them to type in, 1, 2, 3, and then move throughout. So we've gotten a lot of good feedback from our clients, and so we hope that, based off of the former user experience to what this is now more of a question type that you would be interested in using. The next enhancements that we've made is to the dynamic lookup key search. And basically this is for the dynamic lookup tables when you have a big list of answers and then you have to go and do a follow-up answer immediately. Instead of displaying the whole list, the respondents can now type in their answers, and then the options from the list will show up and they can select from what they would like. So this will be, this is actually really nice. So it kind of feels like an open-ended question, and then based off of what they type, then the system, based off of what you put in there, will guess what they're looking for, and then they can select from those options that come up. And that really helps with just the user experience. Instead of having to look at a huge list, they'll just look at the ones that best match what they're typing in. So the way to set this up is pretty standard as usual. This dynamic lookup table looks the same. So you type in your instructions and then you type in what kind of answer interface you're looking for. So back in the days you only had the drop down list, but now you have the option to do keyword search or drop down. And this time you just want to click on keyword search. And below in the answer options, you'll see you have West and then comma Washington, West comma Oregon, West comma California. And it's the same setup as before. So what you'll need with the lookup table is to have an answer on both ends. And then you can go ahead and save that. And the way that you can preview and see is that instead of opening up an entire list, you just type in West or type in a W, and anything that matches that will automatically pop up and be selected. Below you can see the follow-up. I just typed in O, and then the option for Oregon came up, and then you click on that as well. So that should really help with the experience instead of looking at a whole entire list. Makes things a lot quicker, and then allows people to feel like they're, typing in, and then the options will be there for them, and it will go exactly according to the list that you had. And if it's a little confusing for some people, you may want to go ahead and type in on top, please type in the words, and then the options will show them, select the one that best fits what you want to put in. That would usually help with, taking this question and allowing them to properly answer it. The next item we're going to be talking about are our report enhancements. We added some data visualization options available on our cross-tabulation question type. And so instead of just getting an online report and you couldn't do anything about it, this time you can now download it, you can review it, and do a lot of analytics from it. So the first thing you would need to do is just go to the Reports tab, select Cross Tabulations, and then you go ahead and select the questions that you would like to use for tabulation. So you can see on top there I have, which food items have you purchased? And then the third thing you would do is just select the output that you would like. So we have Excel or PDF. And then below You can select the display options if you want just the charts or the data tables, or you like both. And then you can also look at chart types, so you can do a column chart or a bar chart, and then you can create your online crosstab report and download it as well. So here's an example of the crosstab that I did, and an example of a column chart below. And then you can see that we're just testing the difference between a net promoter score as well as their answers to customer service, and how does that directly relate to each one. So this is an interesting one that you can review, and then you can download it as well, and then review that output. So that's been a major change with our cross tabulations. Now we're going to go to our panel enhancements. So we've added some new capabilities to the panel tools that I think is going to be really interesting. The very first thing that they have added is the sub-panel stagger. And basically what this is it basically enhanced the sampling feature by adding the capability to use subsets of your sample or panel for deployment. So by entering a stagger selection. So what that means is that if you have like a group, a panel of 500 people, and you only want to target the first 200 people who have 100 points at least of panel points of participation, and then after they're done, then you only want to target those with between 50 to 100. Then you can stagger those, and then you can also schedule those sub-samples and invite them afterwards, so you know who these people are and you can target them for a follow-up survey or something different. And basically now through deployment of subsample, you can send invitations to the stagger sample as you would need. So to do that, you just go to the panels, start a new project by going to new invitation, and then from the new survey project, then you can select the sample selection. So if you want to do random selection, or if you want to stagger the selection, that will be up to you. And then here is a quick snapshot of just who people would be staggered. And so you can say, these are the people that are going to be in the next group that you're going to send out. And then this is the third item here. So you can see that you can decide when you would like to deploy or decide, what message that they get. Are they going to get a different message from the other people? So you can stagger it accordingly to the different, subsamples that you would need. The second item that we've included with the panel sampling is also the opportunity to do some sample balancing. Basically, you can use a sample balancing tool to adjust the sample to your panel to match a population response rate. Typically, in a sample, you can't always, or in a panel, you can't always get the perfect sample size that reflects the population. And so as a result, what you can do is you can use the sample balancer and provide it with the opportunity to get the best balance. So the very first thing you would do here is just go ahead and name the sample balancer, provide it with a name, and then type in the total response size that you would like. So for example here, if you want to go with 1,000, you can do that. And then select the balancing parameters from the list, and then click on sample balance. So the parameters can be anything from your profile that you've set up. So that would be setting up your sample balance. The second step you would do here is that you can type in the percentage combinations that you're looking for to ensure that the numbers under each parameter total to 100 or 1,000, and then click on the sample balancer. So So for example, here, you're looking for different regions. You only want 40% from the US, Canada, 25% from Europe, Asia, 12.5. And then you can look at, the age groups. You only want, 25% from 51 to 65, over 65, 25%, that kind of thing. And then level of education, you can also balance that out and decide you only need, 25% of master's, 30% PhD, and then balance the data out as you like. So after you do that, the third step is to review the output of your sample balance. And so this will take the data that you have, and it'll say, based off of needing 40% of US, this is what the breakdown would be. You have 140 males and then 179 females, and then you have other, which is unknown, and then you can add that, so that would be your 40%, and then you have your Europeans at 25%, and then the breakdown goes from there. So the fourth step would be, if it does look like the sample exactly what you would need, then go ahead and send out your invitation on the top. So this gives you an opportunity to review the balanced sample before you send it out. And it gives you an opportunity to say, maybe I don't want that percentage. Maybe I want to do, 50% from the US and 30% from Europe, that kind of thing, and 10% from Asia. And so those are things that you can decide to do with sample balancing. And we think that it's a really popular thing with sampling, and allows you to get more accurate data, and it's more realistic to the population versus just sampling everybody. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and jump over to a quick live demo of the tools that we just talked about. And so if you're interested in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just start working with the navigation button. So I just picked R for reports. And so it takes me directly to the reports. If I just want to put S for surveys, go back. If I want to just do E for edit, I just have to pick a survey, obviously. And I can do EA. And that's for editing. So now I'm into the edit options as well. And then if I wanted to go to mobile, I just type in M for mobile. Integration is I. So it works very seamlessly. A for analytics, that kind of thing. So it bounces back and forth really fast. So instead of having to click over here, so you can just click on the letter. So I went right back to surveys, and it goes right back to my survey index in the folder that I probably want to select. So definitely play with the navigation hot buttons. Use the key that we give to you, and just get used to what those are, and it should help you with just saving some time in quickly navigating through the software. Now for adding the question types, it's pretty simple. Again, with just clicking on the plus sign to add a question type, and then you can see the template opens up and gives you a quick preview of what these are. And then you can scroll down and review your question library as you would like. So here is an example of a multiple choice select many, and then once I save that, I can then click on save question, and then if I need to edit it, I can just click here and then type in quick edit. So that saves a lot of time instead of having to click on edit and then opening it up, and then you can save it. Just click outside and then save it, and then you'll have your new option. Okay, so that's pretty much how you set that up. And then the next item would be to look at some infographics. And we did look at that one a little bit earlier. So if you want to go to the reports and set up your own infographic underneath the online tools, and basically you would set up the report with your own logo, and you can customize it here. And you can give a chart name, subtitle, and select the questions that you would like to use and what response grouping you'd like, and then go ahead and generate as needed. So here's my customer feedback. Here's my picture that I used of a Shark Tank, and then now I can go ahead and send this out. Either the link, I can download it here, or I can share it social media wise as well. I'm just going to jump back into the edit survey part and show you the import tool once again. And this will be underneath the edit survey and then under settings. And then you select the language that you'd like to pick. So if I wanted to pick German, I could add German, and then I download the template. And once I download that template, you just click on it here. And you can see here on the yellow side, this is not where you want to make any changes. The second one will be the description of all the different items. And then we have the English translation. And then here would be the German's translation. If I have other language, I'll have Spanish right next to it. So you can stretch this out a little bit more if you like, if you need to get more space, and then you can type in what you want for headers and footers, and then every single question and answer will be included here. And once you have that set up, then you just need to go back into the file and then you can upload that language and then import it right back in. So it will show whether or not it's updated. Then once you have that, then you can go in and select, German, English, whatever, and see whether or not it took. And if it didn't, you can always go back and update it right inside here as well. So that should really help with, saving you a lot of time with translations of your own surveys. Okay. And a quick preview of the rank order question type. So the edit, again, pretty much looks the same as before. The only thing that has changed is the user experience. So instead of having to have them type in 1, 2, 3 themselves, we just have them pick. So if they want, number 2 is skiing, number 1 is snowboarding, and number 3 is biking, then they can pick, out of the ones that they have, and they can continue on. So it makes it a lot easier. It also works really nicely when they're using like their mobile phones and stuff, so they can just use a drop down and pick the answers as they need. And so that should be a really good user experience. The second one that we changed that would be good would be the dynamic lookup table. Go ahead and add that question type in below here. So you can see that this is the big list here, and instead of doing just the drop down, we select keyword search, And then we go ahead and save this. And then you can do a preview of what this looks like. So if I know that we're typing in west, so the options for west or Mountain West will show up, then I can just pick that. If I type in W, then the option for Washington will come up, and then you can go ahead and continue that. So that should work out really nicely. And then the last thing I wanted to show here was the different options for the cross tabulations. So if you've never used our crosstab tool, I definitely suggest for you to look at it soon, since we have made some changes to it. So you can now see the standard pivot questions. You can also do an optional pivot, and then from there, you'll be able to do some filters and then change your output to Excel, and then do different display options as well. So you can do columns or bar charts from there as well. So that should help with some additional analytics in real time for the report that you're looking to run. So basically those the ones that I wanted to go over with everyone today. We're not going to go over the panel stuff at this time, but you can reference back to the slides that we'll send out to everyone who's participating or signed up for this, so they can review how to set up panel sub stagger, and also doing the panel balancing as well. So Gina, is there any questions from the audience at all?
No, we have no questions at this time, Esther.
Okay, great. So we're going to go ahead and end our education hour for today. And again, I wanted to thank everyone for joining us. And we will do another one next month. And I believe we're going to be targeting that towards our mobile tools. I